So we are live.
All right.
Give a few minutes for everyone to join in. We're going to
Okay.
start at 2:10.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone is online, please leave a message, leave a comment so we know you're here and we can welcome you properly.
Mm-hmm.
I see two names. Vienna was waiting anxiously. Vienna, are you there? Wild and Passion, countdown. Yes, it's time. I hope you're here. You're ready for the conversation. Let's do it. Bola, oh my God. Oh my goodness. This is a show of support. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, my sister Savi is here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. You're all welcome. You're welcome. Lean. Thank you, sister Sylvie. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming on. You're all welcome. Yes, Diana. Yes, you're here. Diana Beauty, a content creator. Thank you, sister. Thank you for joining. We're going to give everyone the chance to be here when we are starting. So we're actually going to start at 2:10. Let's just wait while everybody joins. Oh, you look good. Thank you so much, Vienna. Thank you. I'm learning from the best, you know. You are the makeup guru. um my sister being savvy left a message thinking this live is over. No. We're just starting, sis. You know, you didn't miss anything. No, we're starting. We need your input. So we could not have started without you, you know? And yesterday was our sister's birthday, Lina. Linda, happy birthday, girl. Happy birthday. Hey, my sister Kaya Mama F4 is here. Thank you for being here, sis. Thank you for the love and the support. And my brother, Victor. Victor is in the house. Yes. He's here to show some support, not just to me, but also the wife who is on the panel today, Rita. Rita is here to help in this conversation. You know, we
Okay.
value all the input. So you who is commenting, who is at home watching this and not able to get on the screen, we value your input. Thank you so much, Kenya. Thank you, my sister. Looking beautiful. Thank you. Yes, people, please give a thumbs up to the host when you come in. We need to see your presence. Make your presence. Let's feel the impact. Let's feel that you're here. Give a thumbs up to the host. Everybody, please give a thumbs up to the host. And the host has this awesome feature. It's called the super chat. If you want your comment to stay on for a while, click on that super chat and support the channel with any amount. You want to see great content on this channel? You want us to put out good product? Support the channel. It doesn't matter the amount. Dr. V will be happy to have your comments read out so everybody can see it. Who do we have here? We have Vasco Ngwa. Welcome, brother. Oh my goodness. Mike's Money. That's my brother from Alberta. Thank you for showing up, brother. Oh, look at who is here. Marcia, do you see who is here? Andrea is here. Oh my
Andrea.
goodness. I am so blessed.
Andrea.
Welcome, Andrea. Welcome. We're happy to have you here. We're just waiting. We're giving a few minutes for everybody to join in so we can start the conversation together. We don't want anyone missing out on the great conversation we're going to be having today. We are hoping that today we would be able to change lives. We'll be able to have an impact. Let the word not go on rocks. So today we encourage everyone who is joining, Yes, keep the comments coming. Derek in the building, my brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're giving a few minutes for everybody to join in. We're going to start at 2:10. Host, for how long is this? The live is going to be an hour long. So we're starting at 2:10. At exactly 3:10, we're going to stop. So it's going to be an hour long live stream. Yes, my sister Ali. Ali is in the building. Happy Sunday, sister. Happy Sunday. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Let's keep waiting. Let's keep waiting for everyone to join in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a beautiful day out here in Ontario, Canada. It's sunny. I don't know about you. Where are you? What is it like in your area? Is it a beautiful day like it is here? Leave a comment and let me know. Remember to give the host a thumbs up. It helps with YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't connected with the host, please click on that red button and let's get connected. Dr. V is here. You know, fitness is essential for your health. She's here Mondays through Fridays, giving you all the workout you need. Are you someone who says that you don't like exercising? Dr. V has something for you. Do what you think is fun. If you think dancing is fun, that's exercising. If you think going out with your family and having a good walk out in the park is good and fun, that's exceptionally good. Go out for those long walks and get your system moving. Get the health. Let's keep improving on our physical, our mental, and our emotional well-being together. Yes, yes, we are here for positivity, improvement. Oh my goodness. Vienna says it's been raining since morning. One thing about the rain, Vienna, is that it's a blessing. Without the rain, the crops will not grow. We have to put in extra effort. So, in as much as it's sunny here and I'm so happy that it's sunny, I would also love some rain. So, how about you go out there and just breathe? Nature is beautiful. Yes, it's a good thing for it to rain. Yes, Sister Vienna, fitness is essential to your health. Vienna is also a content creator and she lost 100 pounds. And she is helping women and everybody who is interested in losing weight. We have one more minute before we begin the live show. We encourage everyone, if you're coming in, please do leave a comment. If you don't leave a comment, Dr. V would not know that you were here. I need to thank you. I need to appreciate you. So leave a comment and let me show you some love. All I got is love, you know, beautiful people. Thunder, storm, and flooding in Calgary, properties destroyed. Oh, no, 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 no. That's what we don't want. That's what we don't want. We pray that human beings, the lives of everybody in that area, they will all be safe. And that Father God Almighty, you will cover everybody in Calgary. God Almighty, save the lives there. Father God, stop the thunder, stop the flooding. Father God, we commit the lives of everybody. We come together because you see there is power in a community. There's power when we bring our voices together. So
Amen.
we're praying that God Almighty, no soul shall be lost in Calgary today in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Amen. My sister being services, I feel if we don't respect nature, it destroys everything in its own way. That's true, sister. That's true. That's so, so true. So we can do our own little bit, whatever we can do to save the planet, you know, whatever you can do. If you can take the bus You can take the train instead of driving, instead of going on the air. Whatever we can do at our end to save the planet, reduce the depletion of the ozone layer. Let's do that. Yes, 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 yes. Um, my sister Kaya, Las Vegas. Yes, yes, sister. Yes, sister. Okay, we are ready. We are ready to start the show. Welcome, everybody. We are going to start because we've had those who were ready to start that decided to come on time. We shouldn't keep them waiting. Am I right?
You're right, Dr. V.
Let me see if, oh my goodness, sorry, Nora. Sorry, your sister talks a lot and I missed you out. You're there and I didn't let you in. She was knocking on the door. Could you please let me in? And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I hear the phone ringing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hello. Hello.
Sister Mary, why are you doing this to yourself?
What do you mean?
You are in an abusive relationship.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're physically, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, financially, sexually, and verbally abused.
You're right. It's true. You are absolutely right. I'm being.
Why can't you just leave?
I can't. It's not that simple. It's not easy. Oh my goodness. I get confused. One minute I feel like I want to leave. The next minute I feel like I want to stay. I want to stay for the sake of my children. I built so much. I put so much into this relationship. I want to stay for my kids. But the next minute, I want to leave. I want to leave, but I don't know what to do. And then he comes begging. He brings flowers. He brings chocolate. And he tells me not to leave. He tells me not to leave. He's going to change. And I believe him. I believe that he's going to change. I decide to stay. Then it happens all over again. He starts abusing me over and over. I'm confused. I feel like it's my fault. I feel like I push him sometimes to verbally abuse me. I want to leave, but I don't know how. No, I don't want to leave. I want to stay. I want to help him. I know he can change. I want to help him. He blames me for everything. He blames his actions on his childhood. He blames his actions on excessive alcohol consumption. He tells me I'm doing the wrong stuff. I'm sorry, I want to leave. I want to leave. But what is going to happen to me if I leave? I don't know if I can make it on my own. I don't think I can make it on my own. What is going to happen to my kids? I don't know. Yes. To every woman who is watching this live stream right now, if you can relate with any aspect of what just happened, to every woman and man watching this show now, if you know a sister, a wife, a mother, a girl child, a human being who is in an abusive relationship, this show is for you. A woman is like the bedrock of a family. We are there to build the family. But how can you do that when you are in an abusive relationship? How can you do that when the stress, excessive stress from the abuse traumatizes you? Oh, I hear a lady right now telling me, no, I'm not traumatized. Okay, I'm going to tell you the symptoms of physical and emotional trauma. Physically, you suffer from insomnia. You have nightmares. You have aches and pains. You have difficulties concentrating. You have muscle tension. And emotionally, you have anger issues. You have mood swings. You're agitated. Emotionally, you're disconnected from everyone. You're numb. Oh, yes. You're feeling sad and helpless. You're in denial. You're confused. Do you now believe you're traumatized? And that's not just you. Guess what? It's impacting the kids in that home. I heard you say you don't want to leave because of your kids. And your kids are traumatized? Do you know what that means? I go back to my psychology class back at the university when I learned about Piaget's stages of development, human development. He talked about the sensory, the preoccupational, the concrete, and the formal operational. Cognitive development happens during the pre-operational, sorry. During that stage, that's 0 to 6 years, operational, 0 to 6 years. The cognitive development happens 0 to 6 years. The kids start learning how to verbalize words. They start learning the copy from the grown-ups in their families, from the adults. They see, they do. What they see is what they do, the copy. And here they are seeing the abuse, experiencing it, and they want to participate because that's what they learn. It's ingrained on them because it's like blank slate. You're building on it, and what are you putting? You're putting abuse on them. And you expect that child to grow up and not be abusive to another woman or another man. I heard you saying you don't want to leave because of your kids, but you want to destroy your kids. Once they're disrupted, once the child's sense of safety is disrupted, they cannot focus. Their development is hindered.
Yes.
And they grow up and start struggling. Then you hear a child is labeled and they say they're not performing at their level of development. Who did that on the child? The child came to this world of no fault of theirs. They're having disabilities because of what we are doing to the kids.
Mhm.
The woman, it's your choice. It's your choice to stay or to leave. But on this show today,
Mm.
we want to remind you, we know it's not easy. We know it's not easy on you. We did not say it is an easy decision to make. No, we know it is tough. But what do we bring to the table today? We bring options.
Mhm.
We bring information. We are going to be talking about four key aspects. How does an abusive relationship affect the health of a woman and their children? We're going to look at what are the conditions for a woman if she decides to stay or she decides to leave. We're going to look at if a woman decides that she wants to stay, how can she protect herself? We're here to give you the information, sister. If a woman decides she wants to leave, what are the exit strategies? We're here today to give you decision. We're here to give you information to make that decision. And what we want from you is happiness, health, safety for you and your kids. So I'm going to welcome my panel of very strong, beautiful women, Black strong women. I'm going to start by introducing a sister. I have known her, it's been 2 days, but it feels like I have known her for a year. Do you know why? I connected with her the moment I got on the phone and realized that this woman cares. She loves unconditionally. This woman adopted 3 kids from abusive homes. These kids have moved from home to home, 7 different homes. Today, she calls them her kids. She's raising these kids with amazing results. This woman is powerful. She's strong. She's a counselor. She's a pastor. She has dealt with women in abusive relationships. Please help me to welcome Mrs. Marcia Benjamin. Marcia, the floor is all yours. I'll do the introduction one at a time. Welcome, sister. Welcome, welcome,
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you, Dr. V. Thank you, Dr. V.
So I'm gonna ask, before I introduce the other people on the panel, I'm gonna do it a little differently.
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask our sister to talk about how abusive relationships affect the health of women and their children.
Mhm.
Sister Marcia, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Thank you so much. I that rendition that you did earlier, I was in tears. It was so real. It's so real, so profound. And we hear about abuse every day. We read in the news, we read in Psychology Today, we read it, we hear it on the internet and so on and so forth. But until you have actually been in close proximity, until you've actually have to listen or sit with whether it's a relative, a friend, or somebody that has actually gone through abuse, you can't relate. It remains in the peripheral. It remains distant. It remains just another news item. It hasn't connected. And so the reality, the ramification of the fears, the tremor, you talk about the insomnia, the nightmare that this woman deals with every single day of her life. And the thing is, The thing is, she has no recourse, or so she thinks. So she's made to believe that there's no recourse,
Mhm.
there's no way out. Our perpetrator has so ingrained in her. He has basically caused every cell in her body, every nerve in our body to become so traumatized that there is no way out. You can go to a doctor and you can, reveal whatever ailment. The doctor takes you in a private room and takes off your clothes and examine you, and it stays within those confines. Your record stays confidential. But even then, a woman who's going through abuse is afraid to reveal even to her doctor,
Mhm.
is afraid to reveal to her closest friend, is afraid to reveal to the person that's closest.
That's right.
They are so afraid because what if it gets out? What if the husband, the boyfriend, what if this person finds out? It's more detrimental to that person. And
Right.
so that person constantly lives in fear, in terror.
Yes.
And guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what age the person is or stage in life. You have affluent women. You have women who have great positions who are abused. You have women that are just stay-at-home moms, which one of the, that those are one of the greatest positions because you have the responsibility of raising a life. You have the responsibility of navigating life and teaching another life what it is to go through this life. And so it's hard. It's very, very hard. And so the fears that this person goes through, I just said, it affects them psychologically, it affects them emotionally, it affects them physically. The
That's
person
right.
doesn't feel beautiful anymore.
No.
That woman doesn't feel, if she's constantly told, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, you're no good, you're worthless. Doesn't matter the level of education that person has attained. It doesn't matter. Once the word becomes venom, becomes an arrow and pierces through the dermis, the epidermis, and it goes into the psyche, the soul of that person. Once that soul is damaged, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much makeup is applied. It doesn't matter how beautiful the garment is. It doesn't matter how she beautifies her hair. I have a friend who lives in Montreal, and she married a man who, from her childhood, this person loved her, really liked her. They're from Africa, loved her. I mean, she was beautiful, beautiful woman. And while in university, there was another guy who pursued her. She eventually was about to marry that person. That didn't work out. So she migrated to Canada and met this other person who pursued her.
Mhm.
She married the person because she didn't have her documents and thing, and got married to the person. This person had a very affluent position, had money, lived in a very affluent neighborhood in Montreal, and everything she needed supplied. The only thing, and the reason for, he was so happy to have her because he wanted her during university, and she wouldn't give him the time of day. So now that she's in Montreal and she didn't have her papers, and he had what she wanted, he had the money, he had the education, he had the status, he had everything. And so she
Mhm.
married him. After the honeymoon period passed, the real person showed up.
Reality.
Reality hit. He
Yes.
wasn't physically abusive, he was emotionally abusive, he was psychologically abusive.
Which is even
She
worse
was,
because nobody else is
oh,
seeing it. So that is
listen,
worse.
oh my God. She couldn't go anywhere. She was not allowed to communicate with friends.
Mhm.
She could not communicate with families. She could only be in his sphere with his friends, his circle. She could not, she literally is cut off from her family. It affected her psychologically, emotionally. She could not get pregnant. Every
Oh,
child she had, she miscarried.
see, it's
It got,
one
hmm
thing leads to the next.
yep. And her self-worth was demeaned. She did not value anything. Now she had, as I said, the material was there, beautiful home, affluent neighborhood, and she could not enjoy it. She was in a house, a huge house, by herself. And all she had to do, she became a slave to this person. And she could share with nobody.
Wow.
She decided to adopt. So they agreed to adopt, and he was totally against it. Totally, totally against it. And then she became bold and brazen because she realized that she wasn't getting pregnant. She couldn't have friends. And she went to visit her homeland one day. And she saw a child she wanted, and she was determined. She came back and she told him that she's going to adopt this child because she wanted a child.
Right.
He said to her, he gave her a stipulation. He said, the only way I'll sign for this adoption is unless you'll sign these documents that we're finished, the marriage is finished, and
Right.
you cannot get anything. You will get nothing from the marriage. Absolutely nothing from the
You
marriage.
got what you wanted.
Nothing from the marriage. So at this point, there's the reaction that he wanted. The love that was dead, totally dead. And she had gotten to a place that enough was enough. I want out. So he wasn't physically abusing her. He was
Right.
emotionally and psychologically abusing her. And when
Right.
I met her, this woman, I'm telling you, this woman, I met her through a friend of my husband's friend, and this woman was a real life. She had so much. I did networking years ago, and
Mhm.
through this woman, I had hundreds of people in my network in Montreal. I would walk into a church, Dr. V, and everybody would say, "Oh, she's here." Everybody in the church would know me because of her. This is a person who had life and energy. She had influence. She had a heart of gold. She would go above and beyond to help people.
Others. Yes.
She got her daughter, but then she lost everything else. Financially, everything was cut off. She got nothing from the marriage. But you know what, Dr. V? She was extremely happy.
Exactly.
She was extremely happy.
To every woman who is listening out there, listen to
She
the
was
end of this.
extremely happy.
It's
So,
about your happiness,
yeah,
safety. Those things are necessary. It's not just about you thinking that, oh my goodness, I want to keep this relationship because he has everything. I don't know what I'm going to do if I go out there. I'm going to be by myself. I'm not sure if I'm going to be successful. So if any woman is listening to this story right now, look at the bright side of things.
yeah,
Yes, positivity,
yeah.
good decision making with the right kind of information. Women are powerful.
That's they
We
are.
are powerful, but you
Yes,
can only exert influence if you are
yes.
in a good place,
That's right.
psychologically,
That's right.
emotionally,
That's right.
physically.
That's right.
I'm gonna call on my sister. I'm gonna call on the next panel member, the next panelist, but we're going to come back to Sister Marcia because
Yeah.
she's got a lot in stock for us today. I'm gonna call on my sister. This sister of mine, she's a wife. She's an entrepreneur. She's also an aspiring YouTube content creator. And she wants to focus on fitness. She wants to focus on giving us tips on fitness. She wants to focus on do it yourself. You know how we go and pay a lot of money to get stuff done. You can do so many things. She wants to focus on those things. She's an advocate for women empowerment. I'm going to call on my sister. Please give a round of applause to Nora G as she talks about the health of a woman in an abusive relationship. Nora, please, if you can do it in the next 5 minutes maximum, I really appreciate it so we can touch on all the other topics.
Thank you very much, Dr. V. And yes, I'm definitely going to try to keep it under 5 minutes because this topic, to be honest, cannot be
No,
exhausted in just 1 hour, which is what we
Yeah.
have. But we
absolutely
would
right.
definitely try to keep it short.
And just before
And
she goes, I
yeah,
just want to,
so
sorry,
it's
sorry,
been
1 minute.
something
I
that's
just
been
want
around
to
for a long time.
welcome everybody who has come in, and I did not mention your name. I see you. We all see you. We appreciate you being here. Fabiola, welcome, welcome. It's true. Emotional abuse is as bad as physical abuse. Yes, we see you. Nanny's Corner, welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome to the show. And Marcia, yes, I'm truly moved. Andrea says she's truly moved by Marcia. She's not done. She's not done. We're getting back to Marcia in a moment. So Nora, please go on. Sorry for that brief interruption.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to Marcia, to be honest. Actually has goosebumps. When you started, to be honest, V, I didn't know you were such a great actress. Actually has goosebumps and I was almost teary. Like that got me
I
home.
see the comments. A
Yeah,
lot
and
of people
well,
were also in tears.
talking about
So we are, it's real, my sister. It is real. It is real.
yeah, and with regards to how this affects the health of women and children, to be honest, this is actually a ripple effect. The woman basically heads the home, not really heads, the woman looks after the home, yes. And society starts from the household. If the woman is impacted, the children get impacted, and in turn, the society also gets impacted. That's where we have sometimes a lot of children that basically grow up like not mentally stable, because of what they've been through. So just keeping it short, for women, one of the major things that I'm going to touch on with regards to abuse on women and children, starting with women, would be the health, like the healthy part of it. Like they start, some, not all of them, start indulging in unhealthy eating habits, and which sometimes leads to binge eating, and then start having like eating disorders and all of that, and that affects their health down the line. And in the long run, they start having different ailments. And those ailments Dr. V listed from the start, it's just a long list of those. Like the mental part of it is even more worrisome, like depression, and just start indulging in alcohol. Sometimes you start getting hooked in becoming an alcoholic. You don't even know where that started from. But the root cause of that most times would be abuse. And I wrote a whole list of stuff on here. I'm just trying to squeeze that into the 5 minutes I have.
Exhaust
And
your
so
point.
basically,
Because like you said, right? If it means we're going to do a next show to continue this, this is a relevant, it's an important topic. We cannot rush over it. So feel free, talk about what you want to talk. Let's have a conversation that is real and not rushed over, because right now what you're doing, you're talking to a woman out there who is in an abusive relationship and she's listening to you.
Yeah. True. So still with regards to the health part of it, so yes, the violent part of it can lead to minor and major injuries. So yes, you can have bruises and all of that. Those will heal, but the emotional part of it takes a way longer time to heal. Most women suffer, they start suffering from anxiety attacks. They can't really sleep at night. Like basically, it just drains them. It stresses them, and this basically starts reporting in how they perform their work, like to society, how they interact with people. They start being a shadow of themselves. Like they just cannot be their best selves. And when you start having an impact on your self-esteem, your work, because of everything that's going on around you, you cannot really interact with people. They always say you only give out what you have within you. If you have all this depression, stress, fear, anxiety within you, you cannot really give back or give to others what you do not have, because they're already feeling really down. Sometimes they get really angry, just like Dr. V had stated from the start. And you find some women just being unnecessarily angry, rude all the time, and you're wondering what is going on. Sometimes you just do not know what they're actually going through. And it's true, it's good to give the benefit of the doubt, but most times that will be the root cause of some of those kind of things. For children, some of them start growing up, especially the teenage ones. They start getting being bullies, and some of them just hide themselves. Basically, they find it hard to make friends because of what they've been experiencing at home. Maybe not directly to them, but they've been seeing their mother going through violence or abuse from their dad or their partners. And in turn, they can't really speak out as kids. Some of them, thank God enough, are able to speak out to someone that may even help your mom. But most times they tend to just hold in, and somehow that starts showing itself in different ways. They start indulging in drugs, alcohol. Some of them even get into early sex, sometimes for teenagers, just because they're just trying to basically find an outlet. Just, yeah, exactly. So, and then even quitting school. it is very, very, very rare occasions that you actually will find some of them that still come out and they're still very upright. Because as long as the woman decides to stay and tolerate all this abuse and violence, we have to know that this actually has a big impact on our children. We may not see it because some of them are very good at hiding it, but trust me, when they go out there, they would peer pressure would be so easy on them because it's just basically I'm just going to go with whatever my friends are doing, anything to distract me from what's going on at home. So that's basically how I would say this affects the health of our children. For the women, the list is extensive. It's just so extensive. Post-traumatic disorder, that's traumatic stress disorder. That's another thing that basically a lot of people who still manage to get out of it is still struggling to recover from that because they've been through so much that it takes a lot of years to undo all these things from their minds. So I probably would just round it up from there.
Yes, thank you so much, Nora. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have said it all. Yes, it's true that the list is like we cannot exhaust that list in this show that is just like an hour long, but you've touched on the key points. And I'm going to reiterate to the woman who is listening to us right now. Did I hear you at the beginning say you're staying because of your kids? Did you say that? You're staying because of your kids. Did you hear what Nora said? You see your kid coming home. The child is becoming an alcoholic at what age? Engaging in sexual activities at what age? You want to blame it on that child? You want to ask the child questions as to why they're doing what they're doing? It's the impact of the abuse in that home. The decision is yours, woman. The decision is yours. You choose if you want to leave or you want to stay. Today on the show, we are giving you the tools to make that decision. But remember, we want you to be healthy. We want you to be safe. We want your kids to be safe, and we want your kids to develop at the right time without having any disruption. Let's find out if a woman finally decides that she wants to leave. What are the exit strategies? What can she do? I'm going to introduce a woman to you guys. I'm going to introduce this beautiful woman. She's beautiful inside out. Like Marcia said, when a woman is going through abuse, it doesn't matter what she puts on. She doesn't look beautiful. But this woman, I'm going to introduce, she's beautiful inside out. And you who is listening to us today, we want you to be beautiful inside out. That's why we are sharing this information today. This woman, she's a wife. She's a mother of two. She's an entrepreneur. And she holds a master's degree. Please put your hands together and welcome my sister, Rita Eboa.
Thank you, Dr. V. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. And thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Nora. It was a pleasure meeting you guys on this panel. And to be honest, Dr. V, that little sketch you did at the beginning, that was superb. That was right on point. And that is what really happens in an abusive relationship. And as you said, it's not easy to leave an abusive relationship. You've lived with this person for months, for years. You've had kids with that person. You've bought a house together, probably. You've got common friends together. You know, it's like every single part, every single sector of your life, you're linked to that person. So you start thinking, oh, when I leave this guy, what am I going to do? I don't have a house. I won't have a house today when I don't have friends without him knowing of, you know. So that scares you to leave the relationship. But at the end of the day, your safety comes first. And of course, if you have kids too, you want to put them first, you know, because they say if he can hurt you, he will hurt your kids, because he knows that to get to you, like to get to the core of you, he would harm your kid or he would hurt your kid, and that would just destroy you to the brim. So once you've noticed that this man is not going to change, right? You know, for someone to change, they have to be willing to change. And you've made up your mind, I'm going to leave him. After everything, I have to leave. My life comes first. There's some people you can talk to. And remember, an abuser, he knows your friends. He wants to know what you're doing, what you're like, who you're talking with, what you're talking about. He wants to know what dress you're wearing today, or who are you going to meet at that restaurant you're going to. So he wants to know every single thing that you're doing in a particular day. So you wouldn't just get up one day and say, oh, dear husband, I'm going to see this friend of mine, and she's a counselor. No, that is signing a dead warrant. When you go to school to drop your kid, get to the principal, tell the principal nice and quietly, I'm in this relationship, and I think it's deadly, it's fatal if I don't leave. Those are, she would keep it confidential, you know. She would not spread that. She would never get that to your husband's ear or to your partner's ear. That is one other option. You can also talk to, if you're an employee, they have programs that work, employee assistance program that that your human resource can link you to women's shelter, and you can communicate with them and make an exit plan. And also a friend. Marcia said that sometimes when you're abused, you're ashamed to talk about that to your friend. You know, like pray that there's one woman out there who is out there, she has this one friend that she can confide in. You know, go to this friend, tell this friend that my life is in danger. The life of my kids are in danger. I want this relationship. Please, do you have a spare phone at home? That is the first thing. Your abuser, you know, after the abuse, what comes? Honeymoon. He buys you flowers. He buys you cards. He has your phone number. He can track you from your phone where you are. So you want to make sure that all the gadgets that he got you when you guys were coinciding, you don't take them along. Just leave them aside. Get to this close friend. Please, can I borrow your phone for 1 second? I need to connect with this shelter. I need to connect with this counselor. I need to connect with this therapist. Please, then do so. And let also that friend or a neighbor, it could be a neighbor, we never know, could have good neighbors, right? Let them know, please, if you ever hear me shout this word, know that I'm in danger. You know,
secret codes.
You do transport. Yeah, a code. That is, like a code to say, please, if you ever hear me say this word, rush or call 911 for me. I need urgent, urgent care. Right. And another thing is also when you go to school, I had some few notes here. When you go to school to take your kids, you have to make sure that, I mean, the point is you don't want him to know when you're leaving, you know, because if he knows that you're leaving, if he knows when you're leaving, he's going to stop you. And prior to you leaving, prior to that day when you've made up your mind to leave, get some things ready. Your birth certificate, your passport, your kid's health card, your taxes, and if you have any important document at home, keep them in a nice, safe place. If you have a car, he has a spare key, make sure you have an extra key somewhere that he doesn't know. Because remember, he wants to stop you from leaving. He doesn't want you to leave because they are not doing anything wrong. You are the one that is wrong. So you shouldn't leave them. You remember that is what they have in their mind. So at the end of the day, you have to be very careful when you make up your mind to leave. You could actually get killed. As they say, I have a report from the police statistic that 67% of women who died in 2002 were killed by their partner or former partners. You know, so you want to be.
There's also another research that says that there's between 50 to 75% of deaths that happen right after leave the home.
That is right.
That period is crucial. So all what you're saying is really important. It's extremely important to have an exit strategy and be able to implement it the right way. So keep going, sister. Right on.
Right. And another thing is to keep an evidence of the abuse. You know, when it happens, it could be a property was broken, your phone was broken. Those who physically hurt you, you can have a bruise. Keep all those keep all the evidence. If you've been to the police before, you will have a police report. keep that. And another thing, if you wouldn't be going to a women's shelter, because women's shelter, they will protect you. They don't give your information out there. But if you're going to a friend's place, make sure you have a restraining order. Go to the police and let them know that this is what is happening. I don't want this man anywhere close me. Let him know that he has a restraining order. Because at the end of the day, you want to protect your life and the life of the kids you are taking with you. So that is some of the things that we have to take into consideration when we are strategizing our exit from an abusive relationship.
Thank you so much, sister. You've nailed it. It's very, very important. One of our sisters online, one of the contributors, I think it's Nani's Corner, the comment went off, so I can't see it right now. Nani's Corner said resources, support and tools. That is important. Just like you're saying, it's important to have a plan in place. And she says that, I hope it's a two. She says it's on average 7 attempts. And I have a question from I hope I can get to that question. It's a good question. How do you, to everybody who is just joining, welcome, Leah. Welcome, Nani's Corner. Welcome, Philomena. Welcome, everyone. If I missed your name, I'm sorry. Joanne Smith, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna read a question from A. Wilkes. Welcome, A. Wilkes. How do you help someone that is in an emotionally abusive relationship and does not recognize the abuse? So I'm going to ask if there's anybody who wants to jump on this. Is there anybody? If not, Dr. V is going to jump on it. Anybody?
Question.
Dr. V.
Go ahead.
So I was going to say, so how is someone in a emotional abusive relationship and doesn't know it?
How do you help someone that is in an emotionally abusive relationship and does not recognize the abuse? Okay,
so I don't think the person doesn't recognize it. I think the person does not want to confront it. If you, the friend, is able to see it, I'm guaranteed you're telling your friend what's happening. Because if the friend is opening up their mouth and relating what's happening in the relationship, not only that, you're my friend, I can see what you used to be before the relationship or before the abuse start. I can see the characteristics, I can see the changes. I'm your friend, I'll see. I am your mirror, so I'll see it. I will tell you what's going on. The thing is, do you want to confront it? And again, the question is, how am I going to leave this? How do I leave? How do I get out? What's my exit strategy? Do I want to leave? And so there's so many components that the abused has to deal with. So guess what? They play ignorant. They play dumb. I don't want to deal. They even get upset with you, the friend, right? Because they do not know how to confront it. And so as a friend, you have to be cautious in how you deal with the situation. Because at the end of the day, Dr. V, you're not in the person's shoe.
No.
You don't know what that person, so it's the emotional, it's the physical, but then also there are underlying issues that person who's been abused came into the relationship with, right? They have already having problems from their family of origin, their family systems, their emotional thing that they brought into the relationship. Or as you said, if they came from a relationship from their family where this is norm, they think it's okay.
Yeah.
And so how dare myself or my friend tell me what to do? And so the best approach with your friend is to exercise caution, love, empathy, and try as best as possible to help the person, not to badge them, not to beat them down, not to highlight their flaws, but to help them as best as you can using empathy.
Absolutely right, Marcia. Thank you so much. Yes, empathy is something that we absolutely, it's a strategy we have to use if we want to get into this. We have to get at that level where we can get them to understand that this is what they are facing. Right. You know, I'm sure the person who asked that question wasn't at the beginning of this conversation. So what we did at the beginning, for those who are just joining, was to show the reality of a woman in denial, saying that she's not in an abusive relationship. No, she's not in an abusive relationship. And guess what? The other sister on the other line, Sister Linda. Linda, thank you so much. Linda was the one on the phone and she did an amazing job. Great job, Linda. So the other lady on the phone, she called and she emphasized, she was saying that, I know that you're being abused because you're physically abused. Describe what that means when you talk about being physically abused. Describe what it means when you talk about being emotionally abused. In this case, the person is being emotionally abused. Don't stay at that level. Take it one step further and ask them, I see you're also traumatized. If that's the case. Emotionally and psychological symptoms of trauma, I see it on you. You know, I see you being agitated. I see you having these mood swings. You know, I see you disconnecting from everyone. I see you feeling discouraged. I see you feeling numb. Do you feel those things? Sister, do you feel those things? And if she says yes, that's emotional abuse, the implication of emotional abuse. So connect, do the connection for her. Let her see the connection. Like Sister Marcia said, she knows it. She's just in denial. You want to bring her to that point where she can open her mouth and tell you that that is true. Next, how do I get out of this? If I want to stay, how do I protect myself? That's the next question. How do I protect myself? How do I protect my kids? If I want to stay, how do I know when he comes to me and he says that he's sorry? He brings me the roses. He brings me the chocolate. He goes on his knees. He takes me out to that beautiful restaurant, the 5-star restaurant. He gives me the best meal that I have ever had. How do I know that he's going to change? What are the conditions for me to stay if I really want to stay? I want to believe that he would change. But how do I know? That's the next question. How do I know he's going to change? You know he's going to change by seeing the person who is standing in front of you at that moment. It's not the person you want him to become. No, it's not the person you want him to become. It's the person who is in front of you. He's done it 10 times, 20, 100 times. He says he's going to change. Has he changed? Has he stopped accusing you? Has he stopped blaming it on his childhood? Has he stopped blaming it on excessive alcohol consumption? Has he stopped blaming it on your friends who call you on the phone? Has he stopped telling you you are the main reason why he's being abusive to you?
Gaslighting.
So the condition is that he has to be that person he says he wants to be. Not what you're hoping he's gonna be.
Right.
I'm just gonna open the room for the panelists. Anybody on the panel who wants to throw light on this? And welcome, Sister Evelyn. Welcome. She says that empathy is the best. That's true. That's true. Felicia, welcome. There is a pattern in abuse. Fear of survival is often the reason why victims are reluctant to leave. Yes, sister, we touched on that. We said those who are in abusive relationships, they're so scared because they're not sure what is going to happen to them once they leave, once they are on the other side. Imagine you are in a relationship for 20 years, you've built your home, you've done everything, and now you're thinking. The worst part about it is a woman who is not financially independent.
Yes.
You don't have a job, you know, you're dependent on your husband. You start asking yourself, what if I decide I want to leave? What is going to happen to me? There are resources. I have a link. I already have a link in the description section of this live stream. In Canada, there are resources. There are places you can get help from. You can get legal help. You can get help with you starting up by getting a job. If you want to go to school, you can get help. You can get help with your kids' child care.
Yes.
I have put a link for all of these resources.
Yes.
If you want to know how to protect yourself, there are helplines. Click on that link. Get to that helpline. Don't say your name. They don't need your name. What they want from you is you telling them your story. And what they're going to do is they're going to provide you with information that would help you to make a decision on how to stay safe and how you can keep your kids safe, because that's the number one important thing for you to do. Solange is here. Welcome, Solange. You're late. You have not missed everything. We're going to recap. So thank you so much. Rita, you were about to say something. Go ahead, sister.
Yeah, I was going to say, as you mentioned, what are the conditions if you want to stay? And to be frank with you, if you've lived with someone 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, it hasn't changed. Do you think there's any chance for that person to change? And most of all, he doesn't know that he's doing anything wrong. He is not wrong, remember? You are wrong. You keep pushing him to do the things he's doing. You keep maybe nagging, he would say. You keep accusing him of things he hasn't done. So you are the problem. He is not the problem. So how would he change? He wouldn't, like negotiating with the devil. He's never going to keep his part of the deal. Trust me.
Right.
So I'm just going to say a short story. Back home, when I was still maybe in my teenage age, my elder sister had a friend. She was a nurse. So, you know, nurses, some days they come in early, some days they come in late from work. The husband was abusive, mentally and physically. So this day she was coming back late from work and she knows what's going to happen. The husband is going to hit her very hard, as always. So on her way back, she got some friends, some guys, you know, please guys, help me. Today may be my last day alive if you don't come with me. So when she got home, she knows what is going to happen. He's going to pull her hair, drag her on the floor. Where do you think you're coming from? Those guys outside you're going to see. What do you think they're going to give you? You know, just making you feel like you're the worst woman on this earth. You're destroying your self-esteem. So while he was pulling her hair, she was resisting and she took herself to the switch. What she did, she switched off the light. And those friends that she invited, they came in and they got the man well beaten up. He was surprised because obviously he always beat her, threw her on the wall, pulled off her hair, bruises everywhere. So from that day, when they got him properly beaten, like men like him, not women, he stopped the physical abuse, you know. So that was I still remember that story very, very clearly. And I got my sister to remind me of the circumstances. And that is what stopped the physical abuse. But, you know, emotional abuse, mental is also as bad as physical. So you managed to stop the physical abuse part of that relationship. But then the mental part, the emotional part, the spiritual part, how do you deal with that? How do you live in that same environment and then control that aspect of this person that has lived with that? As Marcia said, they may be bringing this from their homes. You know, once you've lived in an abusive environment, you tend to believe that is the only way to resolve your problems. How do you get that out from someone's head? Someone that is cultivated, that's his culture, that's his life, that away from him. So I would say, if I know any lady out there who is thinking of staying in an abusive relationship, physically abused, mentally abused, emotionally abused, it's just a matter of seconds before the worst happens. Yeah, I would say.
So to that woman who is listening to us, we keep coming back to you, the woman who is in that home, listening to us and is wondering, should I stay? Should I leave? We're giving you the tools to make that decision. The decision lies in your own hands. I know a lot of you would say, they're saying it because they don't wear my shoes. True, we don't wear your shoes, but we feel your pain. We feel your pain. We love you. We love your kids. We want you to live to your full potential. As we speak, woman, as we speak, the same moment, 24 people, the same minute are being sexually, physically abused, being stalked by an intimate partner in the United States, in America. Do you want to stay as part of these statistics? Or do you want to come out of it and prove to your kids that you can live to your full potential? Do you want to come out and give your kids the best that a mother can offer? It's your decision. The decision is in your hands. We cannot make that decision for you. No, we cannot. And I'm going to take a few, read a few comments. I see Sister Leah, Toctolia Leah, she said, encourage victims and do not judge them. No, no, no. Hear them out and allow them pour out their hearts. Do not gossip about them. That's very key. Do not gossip about them because they're already going through a lot.
Yes.
Other parties, for this would lead to withdrawal from others.
Yes.
Like all the other sisters on the panel were talking about. You're so right, you hit the nail right on it, sister. Like, I am thinking about what Rita and Marcia and Nora have talked about. These are people who find it so hard to talk to somebody. They will not open up to their doctors. No, the doctors are there to support, because the doctor can help you with your physical and your psychological injury, and they can also recommend you to other people who can help you. Unfortunately, a lot of people who are in these abusive relationships do not feel comfortable even talking to their friends. And when they choose that one friend or neighbor or family and confiding, the next time, before they know it, the story is out there. Do not do that. When you have empathy, we said one of the biggest things is empathy. If you have empathy, you will never think of talking about the story to the next person unless you're trying to seek help. Do not gossip. Amen. So thank you, Sister Leah. That's a very good point right there. And Felicia says abuse is it's a life or death situation. If you choose to stay because of the children, then make sure you remain alive for them and yourself. Sister, that is an amazing point. Yes, from the beginning, we've been emphasizing on this, that if you say it's for the kids, you should be sure that you're keeping these kids safe. It's about your safety, but it's also about the kids' safety. And not just their safety, but also what you're implanting in their memories. We talked about the kids at the stage when they're developing cognitively. You want to let them grow and develop without any disruption. Yes. So think about it. The moment you say you're doing it for your kids, be sure it's positive and not negative. Vesadai group, thank you. Welcome. Let me see if there's another comment. Thank you all so much for the comments. This has been an interactive session. We are really happy for all the contributions. Thank you guys so much. If you would like us to continue this conversation, please leave a comment and let us know. If you want us to have a different conversation about a topic that is really relevant to you, something that can impact, can make a difference in someone's life, please leave a comment and let us know so that we can do the research. Dr. V is the researcher in the house. She's going to do the research with her knowledge, tons of experience. She's going to do the research and bring the best panel to expose the topic and give you the opportunity to contribute so we can build on this community together. Marcia, yes, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. I was asking if you could hear me.
Oh, sorry, it's Nora. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, it's just something I wanted to mention. And then someone basically just left a comment on there. I was hoping you're going to pick it up. I don't know this person, but it's just something I wanted to talk about. Felicia Omoemele, about the culture of silence. That is one major thing that, I don't know, it starts from there, basically. Like if the person doesn't speak out, we don't live with them. If they don't speak out, we never know. And just like you had already mentioned with with Leah, explaining about the whole empathy thing. Big on listening without judgment. We sometimes even judge without even knowing, but just basically learning to clip it when this person is basically opening their heart to you. So yeah, I don't know if you can basically find that comment for Felicia, if she can, or if you can expatiate on that culture of silence that especially us African women have grown into, that is so hard to say anything out there, that you need help. Like, it's so hard to ask for help for some reason.
Yes, it's true. It's true. We did not grow up as African women. We did not grow up even talking when the men are talking. That's the reality. I'm sorry, but it's the reality. We have so much respect for our men. It's the good thing. It's a good thing to do, to respect your husband, even though the Bible tells us to do it, you know. But we believe that when you respect your husband, he's going to love you. And when he loves you, he gives you the respect back, right? So a respectful and loving husband is not going to abuse you. If you're looking at the African culture, it's not even going to get to that point where they would abuse you. No, and our African culture is beautiful. It's embodied with a lot of beauty. Unfortunately, the abusive men take advantage of us, take advantage of our upbringing, and you find a lot of women so uncomfortable to talk to their best friends, to talk to their family members, to talk in public. We're not even expecting you to get to that level where you can talk in public about your situation. All we are asking is confide in at least one person. At least one person. Think about it. A lot of people who go through abusive relationships, you can see it if it's physical, like you see the bruise, you see everything. Unfortunately, what about the psychological part of it? What about the emotional part of it? What about the verbal abuse? You don't see it anywhere because it happens under the roof. When she comes out, she smiles in the public. When they go out together, they put on the same outfit, they look good, and you say, oh my God, what a beautiful couple. What a beautiful family. She cannot open up to you. But we are telling every woman, not just the African woman, we are telling every woman that your first opportunity to solve your problem begins with you choosing at least one person to confide in.
That's right.
At least one person. That could be your sister. That could be a brother. That could be a husband. Sorry, if it's an abusive relationship, of course, it's not your husband. That could be a friend. That could be, you have religious organizations. If you have a church, you worship at church, you can talk to a pastor. If your pastor is not that person you feel comfortable talking to, talk to an elder. If it's not an elder, a church sister, a church brother you trust. There are so many opportunities, so many tools out there. Community organizations are there to listen to you, to provide you with all the support that you need. But you have to open up. If I don't know you're verbally abused, I cannot help you. And like Sister Marcia said, we are only in denial. You cannot say you don't know you're being abused. You know, but you're just not comfortable talking about it. Let's open up. Let's feel comfortable talking to one person. You're going through something that nobody else, even true abusive relationships cannot be the same. So what you're going through, you alone knows it. Even another person who has been abused, another victim, will not know exactly what you're going through. They will have a similar situation, but it's going to be different from your situation. So unless you tell us, unless you talk to someone, unless you choose someone to open up to, it's going to be very, very challenging. So Philomena asked a question. Please, Dr. V, can you throw more light on the African context? Most African women are in abusive relationship in their marriage and are forced to remain based on cultural factor. Anybody else? Anybody on the panel would like to talk about that?
Yeah, can I just address that for a bit, Dr. V?
Sure. Go ahead, Marcia.
And the culture, our culture is amazing. We wherever we were born, the principles and the upbringings, the thing that we see before us. Now, if we're raised in a culture where yes, our male are respected and the wives are respected, the children obey. If we're raised in a predominant Christian environment, the Bible talks about we should it gives credence to the place for the husband. The husband is the head of the wife, and God is the head of the God is the head, then Jesus, then the husband, then the wife. The order is, it's not that anybody is better than anybody. The order is their positions and offices. Now, now that Christ came and grace came, he said there's no longer male, female, but we're all one. So intrinsically, we all have a place. We all have rights. We all have a place of dominance, a place, a measure of rule, a place where we can rule and have authority from. A woman's place, yes, is in her home, her family. The husband is created to protect, to watch over, to provide for. The woman, as you said earlier, is the bedrock of the home.
Yeah.
But it's not only the home, society. She raises, she encourages, she corrects. Whatever the husband is this, the husband doesn't need to speak. The husband needs to go out, do his work, job, come back home, and be a family. Take care of the home. He provides for the home. The wife, she decorates the home. She provides the meal. She does everything. Today, women are ambidextrous. They industrious. They're full of skills and ability. Women are able to raise families and still get education and still have jobs and know her place, that this is my king, this is my prince. My job is to respect him. And so it is also a reciprocal action that
Right.
should happen with the husband. This
Amen.
is a healthy environment. This is a
Yes.
place that where a child or children grows, and then they leave this environment and they go out in the world and they emulate what they saw.
Yes.
Husband goes out, husband respects his wife, husband take care of his wife. He makes time for the family. He goes out and the boys play ball and the daughter and mother goes shop and so on and so on. So our culture, our culture should set these precedences, should create these parameters, right? Where it's healthy, where a person's gifting and individuality is respected, is honored, is nurtured, is encouraged. A wife shouldn't feel stifled. A wife
Yes.
shouldn't be able to be to feel as she's in bondage. She can't do this, she can't do that. She can't go here, she can't go there. Amen. And so when we look to our cultures to say, oh, a wife can't do this because the culture dictates that, or the culture dictates this, and she has to, you know, do things that certain cultures allow. It's stifling. It's stifling, and it breeds this kind of behaviors to men to believe that this is okay. I give it my personal experience, and I will be candid and open. I'm from Jamaica. My husband's from Cameroon. When I met my husband, we met, fell in love. He couldn't speak English. We basically had an interpreter. So I love this person and wait long enough to be able to communicate with him. Then I
Right.
became his ESL teacher and I
Mm-hmm.
taught him English. And from then, my husband flourished. My job as his girlfriend then was to encourage, wherever he played soccer, I was there. Wherever he went, I supported him everywhere. When we got married, we got saved. We became Christian. I said to him, do you mind if I change my name? He said, I don't care. He said, I don't care. As long I know you're my wife and I know I'm your husband. Doesn't matter. And so we
Right.
basically did our relationship like that. We didn't care. My husband, we ate Jamaican food. My husband didn't mandate me to go learn to cook African food. He didn't. My husband embraced in my culture, right? He wears African stuff. I wear African stuff at times. And so for a long while, Dr. V, that's how we lived, right? Our mandate was, our focus is God. We're going to abide and adhere to the principles of what the Bible says. And so in doing so, our relationship got better. When I struggled to go to school, Dr. V, my husband was there 24/7, pushing, encouraging. When I lost all the children I told you about, he was there. When I couldn't look after
It's a
myself, my
team.
husband dropped everything and he was there. He looked after me. He bathed me. He took care of me. That was the person I fell in love with.
It's a
For
team.
years,
It's
yeah,
a team.
for years, we didn't do culture. We didn't do culture. But I tell you what, he met upon some of his African friends and they started visiting the home. And guess what? Little by little, he started changing. He started
Oh.
gravitating toward back his culture. Oh, he said to me, a friend said to me one day, are you gonna cook? He said, I said, I'm tired. He said, go sleep. It's okay. He said, oh, you're so lucky if you're in Africa. If you're in Africa. And so I recognized that as soon as the influence started coming back, he started gravitating towards that, right?
Mhm.
But I maintain my identity. I maintain my, do I respect? I have respect. I have the most respect for my husband. And I train my children to do the same. What am I saying? Even in our cultures, we have to gain back our individuality. We have to gain back what am I about? My life shouldn't be predicated upon this other individual. You're doing what you want to do. You go where you want to do and do this thing you want to do. No, your job is to elevate me. My job is to elevate you. And so if we're being reciprocal in a relationship, guess what? We'll both be productive. We'll both become prosperous. We'll both gain. And so this is a picture or a paradigm that we're creating for our children. Right now,
Yes,
our
yes,
children, our
absolutely.
children just one moment. So even as I piggyback on, go back to the where there's a dysfunction and then where abuse comes, and I'm not no way blaming culture. At the end of the day, Dr. V and our honored
Yes.
guests and panelists, it is incumbent upon
On.
myself and
Mhm.
yourself to make a choice. It is
Yes.
incumbent upon whether I decide to stay in this relationship and
That's
whether I decide to leave. If I decide to leave, as you said earlier, I can go get a job. I might have to live in a shelter for a bit. I might have to wear hand me downs. I might have to do these things. But guess what? My children are with me and they are safe. I'm a woman. I'm resilient. I can come back from the ashes and I rise up to be what God
Amen.
created and
Amen.
empowered me to be.
Amen.
And as long as I am ambitious of life, it will happen. It will happen.
Amen.
It will
Amen.
happen, right?
It
If I
will.
choose to stay, if I choose to give you my power, if I choose to allow my fears and get understand this, I understand that not every woman is empowered, not every woman is strong, not she's not there yet. She has it within her, but she's not there yet. If you choose to stay, understand that not only you are continue being abused, humiliated, demeaned, brought down to nothing, but you're also doing that to the children. When you're past and gone, this legacy of abuse, this legacy of dishonor, this legacy of dysfunction that the child or children have embraced, they continue the cycle. They continue the cycle. You talk about, in Piaget, talk about the stage of development, that those formative years when that part of the brain is dysfunctional. And
Right.
every child, Dr. G, every child that I've seen, whether abandoned, abused, whatever, that there's a thing called ADD, ADHD.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
It is always a factor. There's a
Yep.
part in the executive functioning that gets defunct, gets cut off, right? And that child is focused on how to keep secret. I talked about my children yesterday. My eldest, she's 17 this year. And when she
Yeah.
came to my home, she's adopted. And when she came to my house, Dr. V, she wouldn't say anything about what's happening. Nothing. When I'm in the meeting with them, the social worker said, children, she's explaining, do you know why you were apprehended? She said yes. She said why? Because my mother didn't have a job and she broke her arms and she didn't have a job and that's why they took us. The social worker says no. The CIS, we don't do that to children. When children are threatened and they're abused and there's threats and there's danger to their lives, we go in and we take them. Your parents were abusive. Your mother was on drugs. Your dad was on drugs. And this is why we went in to protect you. Do you understand that? She says, yes. Okay. Okay. Tell me what happened. Tell me why you weren't here. My mother
Right.
couldn't work and she didn't have a job and she broke her arms and that's why they took her. She said, no, that's not why. She repeated the same thing 3 times and the
Right.
child was conditioned to say what the mother said and to protect the mother. She didn't want to repeat what the social worker, though she knew that her mother was on drugs, her dad was abusive, and she knew it. She repeated it. She would not admit it. Why? Because the function in her brain, the part of her brain that sees, she wants to protect her mother. So though the
Right.
abuse was there, though they're lacking, though they didn't have anything, she protects the mother. Do you know
Right.
my daughter, when she came to me, she was 7. Now she's 17 this year. Dr. V, it's just these years. Thus, I would say in the last year, she's able to open up and talk.
Can you
They will
imagine?
never, they will
Can you
never
imagine
speak what,
all because of
never,
abuse
never,
in
ever.
relationship, the
Exactly,
negative implications of abuse? That's
exactly,
exactly
exactly,
what it is. So when I was
exactly.
talking about those early years, the cognitive development happening between 0 to 6 years,
Yeah,
this is a typical example of what
hmm,
happens when you
yeah,
lose that
yeah,
opportunity to let
mm,
your kids develop the way God had
yeah.
programmed it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So,
That's
so,
it.
so
That's it.
you are
That's
absolutely
it.
right, Sister Marcia. And I thank God. I thank God that a woman like you, with unconditional love, took a kid who had suffered from an abusive home and had moved from one home to the next, 7 different homes. And now you're giving that child an opportunity to live to their full potential. What else can we ask of women? That's why we say women are powerful. Women
Hmm.
are influencers. Women, let's rise.
Yeah.
You, the woman who is listening to us right now, rise, rise and make the right decision. Make
That's
a
right.
decision for your safety, for your own happiness, for your kids' safety, and the safety and happiness of your entire
That's
family.
right. That's right.
I'm going to ask the panel, my panelists, if you have anything to add, let's round this up. We're supposed to stop at 3:10. If you have anything to close, just a closing statement. Before I do that, I know, Rita, you're about to say something. I'm just going to read so that those who are watching online would not be left out. Um, What's Life Cooking says, yes, this was very resourceful. Please can still watch this all on YouTube page. Yes, yes, you can still watch it on my YouTube page. Remember to give everybody online, please remember to give the host a thumbs up. It does help with YouTube algorithm. Pauline Smith says, the silence women use as coping was birthed out of a lack of trust, perhaps broken at an early age. It may be
Yes.
parents or close in intimate relationship. Psychoeducation is one of the cornerstones needed. That's so true. That's amazing. That's a very, very good point right there. Solange, talk to hotline. Sometimes talking to a stranger can be liberating. That's so true. We mentioned that earlier on, and I have a link in the description section of this. When you go on YouTube, you will see the description section. It's gonna show you the links to all these resources. You can call. You don't need to give your name. I specified earlier. You don't need to give your name. Just talk about your story, and they would provide you with all the help that you need. Vienna says exactly, influence is something we need to tackle as seriously as the domestic abuse. Thank you so much, Giselle. Sometimes the abuse is so toxic that the kids are mentally affected. It's better for the woman to leave than lose her
Yeah.
life. The kids that the woman's life is in danger. Thank you so much, Sister Giselle. That's what we've been preaching from the very beginning. We're giving the woman the tools and telling her, make that decision. But remember, it's not just about you, it's also about the child. Leah, if you stay in a relationship where the abuser has made up their mind to reduce you to nothing, you remain nothing, and a whole divine project beautifully created by God will go to waste. It will waste
Yes.
away. That is, you have said it all,
Yes.
sister.
Yes.
We women, we are endowed with so much to give to the world. That's why I say we should rise. Women, rise. If you're a woman listening, do you know the number of homes? You see your friends every day. They come out and they look so happy. Do you know the abuse they're going through? If you are that woman listening to me today, you can change your situation. Don't say you can change a man. No, a man can change if he chooses to change, but you cannot change a man. A man can change by his own accord. But you can change your life and the life of your kids by staying safe, making decisions for safety and happiness. I'm just going to close. Please, panelists, do you have something to round up? It should be less than 1 minute, please. Okay, so Dr. V, we're just going to add something to what Ms. Benjamin said about the cultural factor of abuse, you know, because Philomena said most African women are in abusive relationship in their marriage and are forced to remain based on cultural factor. Yeah. Back home, we've seen many couples who, when they have issues, they go to their parents and say, "Oh, Dad, Mom, I can't stay in this relationship. It's abusive. I'm going to die." And the mom said, "What? Excuse me? Did I ever tell you that I left my husband? Go back to your husband's home. You're not going to sleep in my house. Go back to your husband's home. You have to make your home. You have to build your home. You have to bring peace in your home. Go back there. You're not staying here. Yes. Either I have a political career. I don't want you to mess that up for me. Please stay in your marriage. My neighbor's daughter is still married. What are you coming to do in your father's home? Go back to your marriage. You can't disgrace me. You can't divorce. You know, we have that culture that divorce is a bad thing. You can't separate from a union. You cannot leave your family. You cannot leave a relationship on the basis of the fact that it was abusive. That is not the end of life on the basis of our culture. They think that you can live with that for as long as for as long as you're alive. So yeah. I was just gonna let Philomena know that we see a lot of families staying together in an abusive relationship because of social pressure. Yes. In a perfect relationship. Even if you're suffering at home, come out there, show a good face. Let's all be happy. Father, mom will be happy. You and your husband just pretend to be happy. That will be good for us. And that is what is happening back home. And I mean, the story continues, but I'm sure we're running out of time, but that is what we hear about, Dr. V. But the thing is, you're absolutely right. That is exactly what goes on, and that's what Philomena was talking about. But it's all about education. Mm-hmm. It's all about education. You know, I grew up learning a lot from my parents. I am so blessed to be born into our home. But I am going to tell you, my dad is one proud man of this girl sitting here, because what I learned, I educate my dad. We have a conversation. Good. I have a conversation with my dad, and if he's not okay with with something I'm talking about, he tells me this is the culture, and we talk about it. I am not scared to talk to my dad. My mom is of late. May her soul rest in peace. But my dad, today, I can talk about anything. If I have a problem, I don't get scared of taking my problem to my dad because I'm scared that he's going to say, "Oh no, African women must stay in their marriage." No, we have to educate our parents. Educating them does not mean we are changing, we are destroying our culture. No, our culture does not ask men to be abusive to their women. No, that's not the African culture. The African culture expects us to be respectful to our men. Submissive. And the Bible asks us to be respectful to our men. Right. And guess what? If a man loves you, I've said this before, if a man loves you, that man is going to respect you. That's right. So if the Bible tells us to respect, and our culture tells us to respect our husband, respect your husband. Respect your husband's women. They would love you and they will respect you in turn. Mm-hmm. Sister Evelyn says some women too abuse men. This is both way deal. Yes, You were not there at the beginning. We said it is true. It is both ways. Unfortunately, the percentage of victims,
It's
the
women.
crime, the victims, those who suffer the most,
It's women. Yeah.
The reason why our focus today is on the woman.
Mhm.
It happens both ways. And the resources that we are providing is both ways. When the Canadian website gives you a link, it gives the link and it touches on all those aspects. It also provides help for a man who wants to seek treatment. I have it in the description section. So it is both ways, we agree, but we focus on the woman because they suffer the most. So in closure, I want to thank everybody who is online at this very moment. So many people stayed online with us. Thank you so much for the contributions. Almost everybody who is online has been contributing. We thank you so much. And we are praying that this conversation will not go to waste, that it is going to touch a woman out there who needs the help, that it is going to meet someone at their point of need. And to my panelists, if and only if those who are online could give you a round of applause, please do it for yourself. Women, strong women, powerful women, women of substance, influencers. These are the women who have proven to those women out there that they can rise. Women, rise. That's in closure. Thank you all so much. I love you. It's been a wonderful Sunday on Dr. V's Space. And if you haven't subscribed to Dr. V, please do take a moment to hit on that subscribe button. And don't end there. Click on the notification icon. You see the bell? Click on that bell when you get on Dr. V's Space. Click on the bell and choose all. Let's stay connected. Tell us if there's a topic you want us to talk about next Sunday. Tell us if you want us to continue this conversation. Whatever you want us to talk about, we are here to make a difference. We are here to join with you in combination, in together, because this is a society, this is a community we are building, a strong community that we are building. We want to make a difference, and we can only do that with your participation. Thank you all so much. I love you all so much. Have a blessed week. Bye.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you, ladies.
Bye. God bless you all.
God bless you all.